Welcome back, everyone, to the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. Feels good to say that. It's been a little while since we have been on track. We've had a bit of a summer break, but it is time to get the cars back on track and fired up once again. Welcome, everyone, to the Imola circuit, the place where the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine first began back in April 2021, when we supported the Grand Prix here back in 2021 that season, and we've had some fabulous racing ever since here. This is going to be races 73 and 74 of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine, and as you may have seen in recent weeks, we've had some pretty big names come through and go on to do some pretty big things since then. We'll get into that very shortly. My name's Chris McCarthy. A real pleasure to have your company. Next ones are going to come very, very quickly now. We're going to have 3 coming up in September. Then we'll take another little bit of a break. Then we will go to round 10. So Imola coming up now. We back-to-back this with Red Bull Ring next week. Then a weekend off before we go to Barcelona. And then a few weeks off. And at the end of October, we end our season at Monza. And what an end we are going to have there, of course. We saw there last weekend. I'm sure we are going to have a great one ourselves when we roll in there. What's the championship situation? Well, Rafa Kamara in a very healthy championship lead currently. He's on 212 points ahead of Tuukka Taponen on 160. You may think that has changed, and I'll get into that very shortly. Here, Tuukka Taponen is on 160. Brando Badua is on 133. Then we have James Wharton on 105. Then Alessandro Giusti on 105. James Wharton is on 91. Then we have our rookies. We've had some great rookie champions over the year, not to mention the likes of Isaac Hadjar leading the Formula 2 standings. Ivan Dominguez leads out on 75, just ahead of Evan Gilter, 6 points ahead. Noah Stromstead, Pedro Clero, and Enzo Deligny all tucked in behind, rounding out the top 10. So that goes through the order. Now, the point standings have changed ever so slightly for this round. And that is because Ugo Chipwell, we'll get into this very quickly, and then we will go into qualifying, which is kicking off. We do 2 groups for qualifying. They are split into 2 groups. That is where they are in their championship standings. That is how the 2 groups are formed for the qualifying. So that is how the qualifying is formed. So we're going to get out and do 15-minute sessions for this one. You can see the cars just making their way out now. Let's talk you through how the qualifying practice works. So 2 15-minute sessions. They essentially qualify for what row of the grid they're going to be starting on. All the drivers in this group you can see out there are 1st, 3rd, 5th in the championship, so on going to Group A, 2nd, 4th and 6th in the championship, so on going to Group B. Group A go out first today, and then Group B go out first tomorrow. The fastest group will form the inside row of the grid. The slower group will form the outside row of the grid. That's essentially how it works. Where they finish is what row of the grid they start on. They don't know whether they're going to start on the inside or the outside row of the grid until both sessions are complete. Back to the updates I was going to bring you then. Whilst they're going through these kind of warm-up laps, we've had an ever so slight change in terms of Rafa Kamara extending his lead at the top of the standings by 2 points because Ugo Chukwu was disqualified from the last round at Paul Ricard, and that, in terms of the decision, was due to car 3 overtook the maximum number of engines as described in the FRECA sporting regulations. And as a result, he was disqualified from Paul Ricard. What did that change? Well, it promoted Kanato Lee onto the podium for the first time, and it penalties as well. It's been a little while, so we had to kind of refresh our memories on this morning. Brando Badua has a drop of 4 grid positions for this race. That was due to some contact with Michael Belov going into turn 5, so he's going to take a 4-place grid drop, and there will also be a 4-place grid drop for Enzo Peugeot as well, and that was for contact on Tuukka Taponen. Plenty to get through in this one, so we'll try and get through it all as quickly as possible. We also have some changes as well. No Lena Bula, she has left the series. We wish her all the best of luck, but we do welcome back Maya Verg into the series. Really great to have her coming back. She's going to be racing for Kick Motorsport this weekend, and also welcome back to Roman Belinsky. He is out there. He's currently just done the fastest lap as we go through this warm-up phase. We haven't seen him since round 2. He had to learn how to get on his feet again after a really bad road accident. He broke 2 vertebrae in his back. He had to have pins in his back to beat again, get moving again, and now get back in a car again. And it's a really great story just to see him out there again. And speaking to him yesterday, he's just very excited to be driving. Huang Datsoya, Alvaro Joe, Show, Yuji Gao, we're not seeing them out there this weekend, but we do have Nikita Bedrin back with us as well. Okay, that I think clears up everything for us, and we've done it just about in time as we're coming towards the end-up phase of the warm-up laps. Great to have you with us on the coverage, wherever you are watching from. This is qualifying for the first race of the weekend, which is going to take place a little later on this afternoon. This is the Imola circuit. Brando Badua, there you can see him in screen, is going to carry that 4-place grid drop. Home race for him. We'll want to go and get a good result here. Get it high up the grid as possible. It should be cleared up. That 4-place grid drop will take place once the 2 groups are put together. Feeling very confident, always enjoys racing around this one. A lot of the drivers do have experience racing here from the likes of the Italian F4 Championship, if they are rookies in the series. Here we can see the MP Motorsport driver, the number 55 of Valeria Rinicella, speaking of one of the rookies for MP Motorsport. Whilst they're going through this final warm-up phase, let's go through some headlines for the championship that we've had and some congratulations that need to be made. Franco Colapinto becoming a Formula 1 driver. He made history here at Imola, becoming the first Argentine to win in FIA Formula 2 with a great move around a fellow FRECA alumni, Paul Aron. So congratulations to him. And of course, congratulations to Italian Andrea Kimi Antonelli, signed for next year. So we have a FRECA driver in F1 this year and one guaranteed on the grid for next year as well. Leonardo Fornaroli, our rookie champion, a former rookie champion in 2022. Formula 3 champion, went head-to-head with Gabriele Mini, and a well done to him on a great season as well. Ollie Goethe up to F2. Great to see him. He raced with us as well. And we're going to have a Formula 2 FRECA champion, no doubt, the way that's going. Noah Stromstead and Tuukka Taponen have both been racing in Formula 3. Kaz Havercourt had a great season in Porsche Super Cup. And we also had our tracks revealed for 2025. Kaz Havercourt fell just short of the rookie title in Porsche Super Cup, if you missed it. Had the title in the bag on the last lap before a dramatic end. And Gabriel Bortoletto was out in a Formula 1 car yesterday as well for McLaren. Okay, I think that's all our headlines complete. It's been a busy summer for the FRECA alumni, and these are the current FRECA drivers, so big futures lie ahead for them. Teofil Nal currently fastest. Let's see what Rafa Kamara can do. Has been coming here since 2015, is a very special track for him, just to come and have a look at the place. 30 years since the tragic passing of Ayrton Senna and Roland Ratzenberger, and Rafa Kamara always says he comes down to have a look, and this one that will mean a lot for him if he can go and get a good result here. He is currently third. James Wharton to provisional pole position, 141.003. James Wharton, another driver we saw step up and take a weekend in Formula 3 back at Silverstone with high-tech pulsate. Teofil Nile goes second, Rafa Kamara third, then it's Rinnicella, Peugeot, Nikhil Bora, Edgar Pierre goes to eighth as Pedro Claro is second. That's a great lap from James Wharton, by the way. He's half a second clear from the rest of the field. Is that about to be beaten, though? Here comes Nikhil Bora up to the line now. He's currently P7. He goes P1. That's more like it from Nikhil Bora. 140.644. The track's going to be evolving all the time. No cars have been on track so far today, except for us. So we are essentially bedding in the track for the rest of the day. Will that play into the hands of Group B? Possibly. Nikhil Bicker as well. James Wharton, I think, is about to take the fastest lap. Zach David has just gone fastest. Here we go, though. This looks like a fastest lap from both Rafa Kamara and from James Wharton as well. Here come the two Prema Racing drivers. Will it be a first for Kamara? Yes. Will it be beaten by Wharton? No. So Kamara fastest, Wharton in second. Remember, they're fighting for what row of the grid they will start on. Evan Gilter now fastest through the first sector. So it's Kamara, Wharton, Zach David, Nikhil Bora, then Evan Gilter, Nandavud Bidambakti is P6. We've seen him go quick in qualifying back at Mugello. Teofil Nile is 7th. Valerio Rinnicella is 8th. Nico Lacorte on home soil is 9th. Roman Belinsky back in the car is 10th. Pedro Claro is 11th. Enzo Peugeot carrying a grid drop is 12th. And then we have Edgar Pierre, Yaroslav Veselau, Brando Badua down in 15th. Has that penalty hanging over him, needs to get a move on and does so. There we go. That's for Brando Badua and puts himself second in this group. So that's a good time from him. Can he now improve on it? Evan Gilter looks like he's about to go faster. He had a bit of a bad third split, but Evan Gilter, a race winner this season. I think we're about to see him jump up the order. Zach David, absolutely fine. There goes Gilter across the line, P6. And that's one of the tridents over the line. Zach David goes to provisional pole. Wow. There's the RHGP driver. And Zach David to the top. But it's about to be beaten, I fear, for Zach David's hopes. Here comes Rafa Kamara. Yes, it is. So Rafa Kamara now back to the top. It's swinging all the time. James Wharton did not improve behind, and now all of a sudden he's left back in 4th place. Okay, so Kamara, David. Then we have Badua in 3rd, Wharton, Nile. Gilter is our lead rookie so far, Nikhil Bora, Claro, and then Rinnicella, Belinsky, who is improving on this lap. Lacorte likewise. Peugeot, Bidambakti, Pierre Veselau. Claro will be a little bit disappointed with that. He was hoping, from what he told me yesterday, to be challenging for well up there in the points. Points go to the top 10 in FRECA, so to be challenging, or to be in a position to be challenging for points on lap 1, you need to be in the top 5 in your group, really, to get that top 10 start. Here's Teofil Nile out of the last corner. Are we about to see him move up? This would suggest he could maybe challenge for the top 5 spots at least. Here he comes up to the line, 3rd. There we go. That's a great performance from Teofil Nile. Makes his way 3rd in group overall. One of the 6 champions, Spanish F4 champion, Teofil Nile, coming into this season. We're yet to see him make an appearance in the top 10 in qualifying this season, so that would be a really impressive performance if he can stay there. Rafa Kamara looks like he might extend his lead out front, and yes, he does. 2 tenths becomes 4 tenths over the rest of the field. Back down to 2 tenths as James Wharton responds. Rafa Kamara is putting in some laps, and we're going to be going on to the last laps now. This will be the final runs of the session. So one more go at it. Belinsky and Bidambakti both improving. Nandavud Bidambakti has been slowly making his way up the order. Rafa Kamara is happy with what he's done, and he's slowing up. So he happy with that, and it looked like he actually went fastest through the first split. Enzo Peugeot off in the gravel. And that's not the end he would have wanted to the session. So Nanda Wood, Enzo Peugeot makes his way off the circuit. Tricky section coming through Villeneuve. Rafa Kamara has backed off, and he will probably make his way back into pit lane now. Are we seeing anyone else improving? Not quite. Claro looks to be improving. He's gone himself. Belinsky's gone to 8th, so he improved. Claro's the only other one that looks to be improving. Other than that, Wharton's going to come in. Yaroslav Veselau, that was behind him, and I don't think he is going to improve. So that looks like that will be that in terms of our Group A contenders. We are seeing Rinacella, has he taken the flag just yet? I'm not too sure, but he looked to be one of the others that was improving. But that is the first group complete. And Rafa Kamara with a commanding performance straight off the back of the summer break. Does a 139.414 there to put himself onto the top of the group and into provisional pole position. So that is what we are left to go and beat in the next group. Brando Badua second, so pretty good damage limitation with him carrying that grid drop. James Wharton, third place for him. Brando Badua second in the end, so he was on the last lap, wasn't he? Brando Badua second place, James Wharton third place, Zach David in fourth, Teofil Nile then in fifth in the top 10. He'll be happy with that. And then we had Pedro Claro in P6, Nanda Woodbin Bhakti in 7th, Valerio Rinacella in 8th, Roman Belinsky 9th, Nikhil Bora in 10th, Evan Gilter in 11th, Enzo Peugeot, Nico Lacorte, Edgar Pierre, Yaroslav Veselau. So Brando Badua into this race, and he puts himself P2. That's a good qualifying session from the home driver in between the two Premers. Rafa Kamara leading the way ahead of Badua, Wharton, David, Teofil Nile into the top 10 for the first time. So a great start off the back of a summer break. Pedro Claro, Nanda Woodbin Bhakti showing further signs of improvement. Rinacella, Belinsky back in the car. And what a start for him as well. There you can see the two Van Amersfoorts. Let's confirm the result then. So Rafa Kamara had been leading very comfortably until Brando Badua got back in there right at the end, saved something for the very end of the session. P2 at the end for Brando. James Wharton third. Zach David fourth place. Strong session from him. And then we had Teofil Nile, Pedro Claro, Nanda Woodbin Bhakti, Belinsky was down there. Bora rounding out the top 10. Gilter, Peugeot took a spin at the end. Lacorte, Pierre, and Veselau. So that is our first group, and it's going to be Kamara, who is on provisional pole. 139.414 will be our time to beat for this next qualifying group. And we will see if they can go and beat that time now. See all the drivers lining up for Group B, getting ready to go. As Group A roll in at the back of the field. So Group B now getting ready. It'll be interesting to see if we have any kind of track evolution for this one, because it's just seemed to get quicker all the time as we went through the session there. We are the first cars out on track today, And it would be interesting to see, particularly with Brando's time coming in at the end, if there is any kind of evolution in the track going towards the end of the session. Well, Group B all ready to go. Let's go through who you're going to be seeing in this session. Matteo De Paolo is in the number 2. He is an Italian driver. Then we have Ugo Chukwu in the number 3. Tuukka Tappinen, we saw him racing in Formula 3 at Spa. Kanato Lee promoted to the podium at Paul Ricard. Congratulations to him. He's drove very well at Paul Ricard, so he's going to be flying with confidence. Alessandro Giusti, of course, took a win, his first win of the season. Let's see how he can get on. Bedrin out there as well. Nikita Bedrin, Roman Andriolo, Enzo Deligny. A welcome back to Meyer Berg. Noah Stromsted was out at Monza last weekend. Ivan Dominguez, happy 18th birthday. Ricky Liu turned 18 years old on Thursday. And they threw a cake in his face, apparently. Dorian Pan is going to be out there as well. Well done to her. She won at Zandvoort, took her second win of the season, 4th podium. And well done to Maya Berg that weekend as well. She took both podiums in F1 Academy that weekend. Dorian Pan on the top step as well, a return to the top step. So a great weekend for FRECA drivers all round. Marta Garcia, of course, the F1 Academy champion, is here with us racing as a result of winning that series. Giovanni Maschio also out there as well. We caught up with him in the summer break, in our summer talk, as we did with all the RPM drivers and the Trident drivers. Hope you enjoyed that. And Ivan Dominguez is out there as well. Had a very quick catch up with him yesterday. So the cars make their way out onto the circuit then. They know what they have to beat. A 139.414 is now their time to beat, which was set by Rafa Kamara. If they beat that, then it'll be the inside row of the grid for these drivers. If they don't, it will be the outside row of the grid. But either way, they're fighting for what row of the grid they will start on. Be interesting to see how Maya Berg gets on her return to the series. Of course, she has been racing F1 Academy this year. It's going to be a return to this series. She took 6 top 10 finishes in FRECA and 1 rookie win with that. There are the Iron Dames team, a home race for the Iron Dames team as well. I have to say it was a lovely tribute that Leo Fornaroli made after he won the title last week. Iron Dames, Prema Racing recently lost a valued member of their setup in Luca Persiani, and a former driver in our championship. Leo Fornaroli dedicated his championship win to that, and I'm sure Iron Dames, as they were when they went racing in F1 Academy a couple of weeks ago, as they go racing back in FRECA for the first time, will have Luca in their thoughts this weekend. Was a part of the Prema Racing team, which Marta was part of last season in F1 Academy. So a real tragic loss to the Iron Dames setup. So I'm sure that will be part of Iron Dames' thoughts and Prema Racing's thoughts, and many people in the paddock as well. Luca Persiani, and our thoughts with his friends and family at this very difficult time. Down to the Variante Alta. Ahead now, just on the warm-up phases, we are Ricky Liu in the 66. We'll see how he can do on his birthday weekend. There's Enzo Deligny in the Red Bull Junior. Here's Tuukka Tappinen. Championship-wise, Tuukka Tappinen is 52 points back from Rafa Kamara. Rafa Kamara has just gone out and taken provisional pole. So Tuukka Tappinen now needs to go fastest, really, in this session. That's been a real statement result, that, from Rafa Kamara in terms of the championship, to say, if there was any speculation I'm going to be caught, then I'm going to silence it. So the pressure is certainly on Tuukka Tappinen here to close that down. 4 rounds to go, 52 points is a big gap in a championship where we run the F1 style points. We don't do points for pole position and fastest lap. So Tuukka Tappinen, really, it's a pole position at minimum here that he needs to try and take 7 points, if he can, out of Tuukka Tappinen. That'll be going through his head, I'm sure. Championship will be going through drivers' heads as we head into this phase. Ivan Dominguez is out there as well. He's fighting for the rookie title with Evan Gilter. Evan Gilter, 10th place in his group. So not the best of sessions for Evan Gilter. Let's see if Ivan Dominguez can capitalize on that. Noah Stromstead is in this session. Noah Stromstead and Ivan Dominguez quite close together. Pedro Clero was 6th, though, and he is not far behind Ivan Dominguez. So this could be quite an interesting session to watch between the likes of Ivan Dominguez, to see how he can get on fighting for rookie places against the likes of Clero, who just went and got 6th in that first group. Can he go 6th or higher, for example? So that's the thing, the 2 things to watch out for if we're looking at this from a championship perspective. Can Tuukka Tappinen get pole? And then Ivan Dominguez, his rookie rival, one of his rookie rivals, Clero's got P6. Can he now go and beat that? And what about Noah Stromstead? Can he beat him in this session? Fabulous circuit, though, is Imola, as they come up to Piratella here, come over the blind crest, and then all of a sudden you see this left-hander appear at you, take your way through the left, and then it's back downhill towards Acqua Minerale. Added gravel traps added around in recent times. You can see all of these gravel traps now extended. You used to be able to go straight over the tarmac runoff there. That's no longer the case. It makes these qualifying sessions a lot more difficult. Same here into Variante Alta. Extended gravel traps there. Used to be able to run straight over that runoff on the exit. Got to take some curb through there. Just forces the drivers to think a little more, particularly in these qualifying sessions. Down to Ravazza, we've seen some great fights through here. Great spot for overtaking. Might be a place they're tempted to use their push to pass. This will be the most likely place they'll want to use it as they come up towards the start-finish line. Okay, 139.414, our time to beat if they're going to take that inside row, and 140.8 is the time that we see on the board from Sandro Giusti, the Williams Academy driver, a young Frenchman, straight to the top. Matteo De Paolo to second place. Tuukka Tappinen going for pole position in 3rd place. Then we have Nikita Bedrin. Ricky Liu is now 6th as Maya Verg on her return goes P5. Uga Chigwu 6th. Noah Stromstead is 8th. The yellow bars next to the drivers means they are rookies. Dorian Pan is 9th. She had a great run last time out, falling just shy of points. Enzo Deligny 10th. Then Marta Garcia. And then we have Dominguez, Maschio, Canato. That's Maschio. I was about to say he doesn't have a time on the board, and he won't have a time on the board because that's heavy suspension damage, and that will not be fixable in 6 minutes. So Giovanni Maschio is out of qualifying, and he will take no further part in this session. So I'm not too sure what's happened to him there. Giovanni Maschio looks set to go from the back of this grid because Canato Lee and Roman Angiola are about to set a time. We just had a time from Ivan Dominguez, and he's gone up to P3. Waited a little while to do it as Kanato Lee now goes P3. Roman Andriolo set to go into the top 10 in this group and does so, goes P5. Right, are we about to beat that 139.4? We're certainly about to have a heavy challenge of it. Here comes Sandro Giusti. Up to the line now, 139.7. Well, fastest in group, not overall yet, but that is fastest in Group B for Sandro Giusti. Tuukka Taponen in second. Matteo De Paolo, this is a really good result for him so far. Enzo Deligny now going fastest of the rookies, beaten by Noah Stromstead immediately. So Noah Stromstead, that's a great result for him. Looking to close down Dominguez in the rookie standings. There's not much between them at all. Then we have Deligny, fastest through the first sector. Enzo Deligny is the fastest car on the circuit, and you can't write him off out of this rookie title either. Our rookie champion just became one of our rookie champions just became a Formula 3 champion. They are very talented drivers. It's a championship we must keep a close eye on. Enzo Deligny making his way through the first sector, fastest of anyone. Sandro Giusti going even faster. Someone's kicked up some dust, I think, going through there. But I tell you what, I think Enzo Deligny could be a challenger for overall pole here. He's absolutely flying. Now, it looks like Maschio had an incident with Marta Garcia, and that's why we're seeing him with suspension damage, and that's going to be investigated after the session. Right, let's watch these drivers over the line. Sandro Giusti has gone fast, or is he about to go fastest? He's about to hit the beam now. Let's see if he goes quicker than 139.4. No, but this is the man to watch. Here comes Enzo Deligny on an absolute fly. That second sector was so fast. Heads up to the line now. Tuukka Taponen in second. Enzo Deligny up to the line now. P3, 139.6. Very, very fast, and 26 thousandths of a second between first, second, and third in this group. Hugely, hugely fast, but none of them quicker than Rafa Kamara. So currently it would be Sandro Giusti on the front row with Kamara. Taponen would be on the second row, and then we would have a third row with Deligny. We'd have to take into account that Brando Bedua has a grid drop, and we have to take that into account. So positions would change slightly as a result of that. Sandro Giusti making his way out of Acqua Minerale and up to Variante Alta now. Just needs to find 2 more tenths. 2 and a bit more tenths if he can. 3 to make it absolutely confirmed. Through the first 2, he's first 2 splits. He's found just under a tenth. 2 more to go. Now he sees 0.06 of a second up. Looking down, Noah Stromstead is improving. He could be one to move up the order. Here we see Giusti up to the line now. Let's see what he can do as he heads across the start-finish line. Alessandro Giusti, 139.504. So he is really knocking on the door now. And Sandro Giusti is very, very close. He's just under a tenth away from getting himself on overall pole position. Fully alongside the front row starter of Rafa Kamara. Can he just eke himself ahead now of the Brazilian driver? Clearly carrying a lot of confidence since that win on home soil last time out. And Sandro Giusti should be one to watch going into this last 4 rounds. He had very good form at Red Bull Ring last season, and also at Monza as well. He could be a dark horse going in to the last few rounds of the season. He currently sits 4th in the championship. Oh no, that's Dorian Pan, who is off. That could bring out some yellow flags. I don't know where that was. It was stranded somewhere, but Dorian Pan is sadly off. Let's find out the answer. That's down at the Villeneuve chicane that we see Dorian Pan off. And That sees her in the gravel. That's where we saw Enzo Peugeot go off. Here comes Giusti up to the line. I tell you what, he's found 25 thousandths of a second. This could be enough if he's found enough through the last sector. Sandro Giusti going for overall pole position. Can he do it? No. Just falls short through the last split. One more attempt. If those yellows are cleared, then we could see him do it. Final chance for Giusti. Kanato Lee going faster. If the track is clear, no, the yellow flags are out, and that will be that then. Because those yellows are out, we will not see people improving. A shame for Giusti, but it will be a front row start confirmed. Did the right thing, had to back off coming down the straight. Nikita Bedrin looks like he's challenging. Tuukka Tappinen likewise, but I think those drivers, we will see them having to hit the anchors slightly, just due to the fact of those yellow flags down at Villeneuve chicane. And a red flag has gone out just to all but confirm that there will be no further improvements in this session. Well, a good decision, I think, from race control. We got everyone over the line on that flying lap once they were past the stricken car of Dodi and Pan, but once everyone had completed their laps, there was no need for everyone to travel at racing speed. Sandro Giusti, fastest in this session, and that puts him on the front row alongside Rafa Kamara, who will start from pole position. Tuukka Tappinen, second in the group. Enzo Deligny, third place. Matteo De Paolo, what a qualifying result for him. Fourth place for him in the top 10 for the third time. Ivan Dominguez, fifth place. And then we had Noah Stromstead. So some great results in terms of the rookies there. Four of them in the top six. Bedrin, Ugachukwu, Liu, then Kanato Lee, Maya Verg on her return, Andriolo Pan, Garcia, and Maschio. And that is all for qualifying. We will be back for the race at 3:25 local time here at Imola. For now, from all of us, it is goodbye.